Times Now has managed to access. It seems that there is more trouble which is mounting for Partha Chatterjee, Mamata Banerjee's Mantri. As per ED sources and the revelations to Times Now, they say that Partha Chatterjee's name is now being linked to the TET scam as well. The ED sources have said that they managed to get a lot of documents, and in the 2012 TET revised list, there was documents which have been found and they've been recovered in Partha Chatterjee's residence. Remember, so far he is only being looked into the appointment of teachers, the entire scam which had happened while he was the education minister in the Mamata Banerjee government. But now it appears that he may even have a link to the TET exams which were held in 2012. Papers of that on your screens that Times Now's managed to access. Let me go across to Tanushree, who's joining us from the Enforcement Directorate's office, getting us this mega exclusive. We'll be going across to Tamal Saha, who's joining us from Kolkata, as well as Pranesh, who will get us this document. But Tanushree, over to you first. Tell us, it could be just the tip of the iceberg after day of interrogation revealing more such irregularities as per the ED?
Well, this is an absolute Times Now exclusive. It's a mega exclusive. We have got hold of Partha Chatterjee's Seizure list, in which point number 15 says that copies of documents related to the revised result of the TET 2012 has been found in his residence. Now, we know that there is a TET scam, and that the CBI is also looking into the TET scam. Now, that was the TET scam of 2014, but now the ED sources are claiming that in the seizure list there are documents relating to the TET scam of 2012, which means that now Partha Chatterjee is not only being linked in the SSC scam, in which the teachers recruitment scam, the Group D, Group C staff scam, but also in the TET scam, because we know that in 2012 there was one first list that was published, but then that list had been cancelled and a second revised list was published. The allegations by certain candidates were that the deserving candidates, their names were on the first list, but then in the second list the names of those candidates have come up whose marks are far lower than those whose names had come up in the first list. So certainly the questions would be raised as to why these documents were found in Partha Chatterjee's residence, because he was a former education minister, but these documents, then there were several admit cards which have been found, so therefore questions are being raised on that. Also, Times Now had accessed Arpita Mukherjee's seizure list, and there a black diary was mentioned, a black diary in which it was written that, the state government name was written. So what does that black diary consist of? 40 pages of that black diary is in codes, and today the second round of questioning has begun for Partha Chatterjee and Arpita Mukherjee. They are being questioned separately.
In fact, do stay on with us. Let's focus on the first angle, the big mega exclusive Tanushree managed to get for us, that regarding Partha Chatterjee's now possible link to the TET exam of 2012. Pranesh, over to you with the list of recoveries.
Now access the seizure memo of the things that were recovered from Partha's residence. Point number 15 caught everyone's attention. Here it is, point number 15. Apart from other things, copy of documents relating to revised result of TET 2012. Now, what is TET? The teachers eligibility test that was conducted in 2012. Note of President, the West Bengal Primary Education Board, copy of chart relating to proposed teachers posting, copy of paper relating to Committee of Higher Authority of the West Bengal Senior Secondary Council. All these things were seized. And now ED sources are telling us that trouble is set to mount for Partha Chatterjee because of this seizure. Because TET documents were found from his residence, the agency is going through the documents. And remember, this is not the first time that there have been raids on top functionaries. In the past, the CBI has carried out raids on premises of top government functionaries, including members of the WBPPE, which is the West Bengal Preliminary Education Society. And now, with the top mantris top mantri also in the dock, things can, and if, allow me to read one more point from this list, Meghna. This makes it more difficult for Partha Chatterjee. Now, sources in the agency are telling us that apart from this document, they also found hard drives. Hard drives are also under the scanner, and some other documents that are possibly linked to more people related, allegedly related to the TET scam. So this is all unraveling. He was arrested after massive cash seizure was done at Arpita's residence. Cash as much as 20.9 crores was found from Arpita's residence, after which Partha was called for questioning and subsequently placed under arrest. And now he is under scanner for his involvement or collusion in the TET scam that the CBI is probing.
Well, it could be much bigger than the entire scope of questioning which is happening right now. So let me go across to Tamal. Tamal, in the midst of it all, the possibility of Partha continuation in office itself is getting more and more untenable, with both the BJP as well as the Congress now putting pressure on Mamta. Tamal?
Well, I had certain difficulty listening to your question. However, coming to the investigation that has happened so far, yes, I heard Pranesh, and as you rightly mentioned, and also Pranesh rightly mentioned, that possibly this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, yes, Enforcement Directorate sources are saying that the money which they have found, 21 plus crore, now that is possibly not the all, and the entire money that they have, they are in a position. There are investments done, and the story which we broke on Times Now yesterday, that there are investments done on the name of Arpita Mukherjee, and these investments can be many and in several forms and at several fronts. What you also been given to understand by ED sources that yesterday Arpita Mukherjee, during the course of the examination, had given out details of few more properties. Now, where are these properties located? These properties, as per ED sources, are located in the eastern fringes of Kolkata, that's one, and in North 24 Parganas. Now, who does this property belong to? Out of 5 properties that Arpita Mukherjee has allegedly identified, at least 3 of them belong to industrialists. 1 belong to businessmen. Now, who are these people? Are they connected to Trinamool Congress? Do they belong to Trinamool Congress? Well, there is no direct connection that they have found between the political party and the so-called names that Arpita Mukherjee has taken. However, Enforcement Directorate sources are claiming that last night, very late, they had also raided these places. I repeat, they had raided the house of a businessman. They have also raided the house of an industrialist whose name had been given by Arpita Mukherjee. Now, Arpita Mukherjee had also suggested that these people had worked in a way like a conduit. Now, there is also another individual who has been identified by Arpita Mukherjee. Now, that individual allegedly was working as a broker, one who would transfer the money from one place to another place.
And also